The starship Elysium glided silently through the void, its sleek hull reflecting the faint light of a distant sun. On board, Ambassador Elias Grant stood in front of a floor-to-ceiling viewport, staring out at the swirling nebula that marked the border between the human territories and the Xyloth Dominion. His reflection stared back at him, a man in his early 40s, with graying temples and a face that had seen too many negotiations and not enough sleep. Today he was about to face his greatest challenge yet. The Xyloth Dominion was an ancient and powerful empire, ruled by two rival queens who had been locked in a cold war for centuries. Queen Veyra, the matriarch of the Crimson Hive, was known for her fiery temper and unyielding ambition. Queen Lysara, leader of the Azure Hive, was her polar opposite, calm, calculating, and enigmatic. Both had extended invitations to the human diplomat, each hoping to secure an alliance with humanity against the other. Elias adjusted his collar, the fabric of his formal uniform itching against his neck. He had been briefed extensively on the customs and protocols of the Xyloth, but nothing could prepare him for the reality of standing between two alien queens who saw him as both a pawn and a prize. The shuttle descended onto the surface of Xyloth Prime, a planet covered in towering crystalline spires and bioluminescent forests. The air was thick with the scent of exotic flowers, and the sky shimmered with the auroras of 1,000 colors. Elias stepped out of the shuttle, flanked by his human aides and a contingent of Xyloth guards. The guards were insectoid in appearance, their chitinous armor glinting in the sunlight, their multifaceted eyes scanning him with curiosity. He was led to the Grand Spire, a massive structure that served as the neutral ground for the two queens. Inside, the walls pulsed with a soft, organic glow, and the air hummed with the energy of unseen machinery. At the center of the chamber stood two thrones, each occupied by a queen. Queen Veyra was the first to rise. Her form was both terrifying and mesmerizing, a humanoid figure with crimson exoskeleton armor, her eyes glowing like embers. Her voice was sharp and commanding, echoing through the chamber. "Ambassador Grant, welcome to Xyloth Prime. I trust your journey was comfortable." Elias bowed slightly as protocol dictated. "Thank you, Queen Veyra. The journey was uneventful, though I must say, your world is breathtaking." Before Veyra could respond, Queen Lysara stood. Her appearance was strikingly different. Her exoskeleton was a deep blue, almost translucent, and her movements were fluid, like water flowing over stone. Her voice was soft but carried an undeniable weight. "Ambassador, we are honored by your presence. I hope you will find our hospitality to your liking." Elias turned to her, offering another bow. "The honor is mine, Queen Lysara. I look forward to fruitful discussions." The tension between the two queens was palpable, and Elias could feel the weight of their gazes as they sized him up. He was the first human to set foot on Xyloth Prime, and both queens saw him as the key to tipping the balance of power in their favor. Over the next few days, Elias was shuttled between the courts of the two queens. Each tried to outdo the other in their attempts to win his favor. Veyra took him on a tour of her war machines, showcasing the might of the Crimson Hive. "With humanity's technology and our armies, we could crush the Azure Hive and bring order to the galaxy," she said, her voice dripping with conviction. Lysara, on the other hand, showed him the beauty of her domain, the shimmering gardens, the libraries filled with ancient knowledge, the peaceful harmony of her people. "We do not seek war, Ambassador. We seek understanding. Together, we could build a future where all species thrive." Elias listened carefully, his diplomatic training keeping his expression neutral. But beneath the surface he was torn. Veyra's passion was intoxicating. her vision of a united galaxy under her rule compelling. Yet Lysara's wisdom and compassion resonated with him on a deeper level. He found himself drawn to both queens, not just as political figures but as individuals. One evening, as he stood on a balcony overlooking the Azure Hive's capital, Lysara joined him. The twin moons cast a silvery light over the city, and the air was filled with the soft hum of nocturnal creatures. "You seem troubled, Ambassador," she said, her voice gentle. Elias sighed. "It's not easy being caught between two such powerful leaders. Both of you offer compelling visions for the future, but I fear that choosing one will lead to the destruction of the other." Lysara placed a hand on his arm, her touch cool and soothing. "You are a man of peace, Elias. I can see it in your eyes. You do not wish to see our people suffer, and neither do I. But Veyra, she is driven by ambition. She will stop at nothing to achieve her goals." Elias turned to face her, his heart pounding. "And what are your goals, Lysara?" She smiled, a rare and beautiful sight. "To preserve what is good in this galaxy. To protect those who cannot protect themselves. And perhaps to find someone who shares that vision." Her words struck a chord in him, and for a moment, he allowed himself to imagine a future by her side. But the thought was fleeting, as the sound of approaching footsteps broke the moment. Veyra appeared, her crimson armor gleaming in the moonlight. "I see you are enjoying the night air, Ambassador. I hope Lysara hasn't been filling your head with her idealistic fantasies." Lysara's expression hardened. "Veyra, this is not the time." Veyra ignored her, stepping closer to Elias. "You are a man of action, Elias. I can see it in the way you carry yourself. You understand that strength is what keeps the galaxy in order. Join me, and together we can achieve greatness." Elias felt the weight of their expectations pressing down on him. He knew he couldn't delay his decision much longer. The fate of two civilizations rested on his shoulders, and the choice he made would change the course of history. The final meeting took place in the Grand Spire, with both queens present. Elias stood at the center of the chamber, his heart pounding as he prepared to deliver his decision. "Queen Veyra, Queen Lysara," he began, his voice steady. "I have spent many days considering your offers, and I have come to a conclusion." The room fell silent, the tension so thick it was almost suffocating. "I cannot choose between you," he said, surprising even himself. "Both of you offer visions for the future that are worthy of pursuit. But I believe that the only way forward is for you to set aside your differences and work together." Veyra's eyes narrowed, her voice sharp. "You ask the impossible, Ambassador. Lysara and I will never see eye to eye." Lysara stepped forward, her expression calm but resolute. "Perhaps it is impossible, Veyra. But if we continue down this path, we will only destroy each other. Is that what you truly want?" Veyra hesitated, her gaze flickering between Elias and Lysara. For the first time, Elias saw a crack in her armor, a glimpse of the vulnerability beneath her fierce exterior.